Hello there and welcome to SpeedDock. During this video, I'm going to show you how to set up SpeedDock and how to configure the different settings and options available to you. So to get started, you can see that I have a blank dock in front of me here that I can click and drag around freely. I also have another dock down here with a variety of different apps, and I'm going to cover the difference between these docks and how to set both of them up. Now, the first thing I would like to cover is how to add additional docks, remove docks, and add different applications to your docks. Now, there's two ways that we can do this. Once we have our dock selected, at the very top left, we can click on Docks, and then we can add a new dock from here. And clicking on it, we'll add another dock that we can move and drag around. Also, we can simply right-click on an existing dock. That will provide us with a drop-down menu, and from here, we can also add a new dock just like that. And as you might have seen, if you need to delete a dock, right-click on the dock that you would like to delete, and then down here near the bottom, you can see that we can delete a dock. And click on OK. Now, let's say that we would like to add some applications and some items to our dock that we have here. I'm going to simply right-click on it. I'm then going to go to Add Item. And when I do that, it's going to open up my Applications folder. So let's say that I wanted to add the music application. Click on Add, and there we have it inside of our dock. Same thing. If I would like to add another one, we're going to right-click, Add Item, and this time let's add our Books application and click on Add. If you ever need to remove an item from your dock, same thing. We're going to right-click on the item itself, and we're going to go to Remove Item here at the bottom. Now that we've added some applications to our two different docks, now I want to talk about how we can customize the appearance of these docks. As you can see, my top one here, it doesn't look too great at the moment. We have a lot of extra space down here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have our dock selected, and then at the very top left, we can click on SpeedDock, and then from there, we can click on Preferences. Also, we can right-click on the dock itself and click on Preferences this way. And that's going to open up all the different options that we have for SpeedDock. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drag this over here to the side a little bit, and then I'm going to drag my docks over a little bit further so we can see both at the same time. Now we have some general options here, but what I want to do is I want to click on Docks, and we can now begin to customize the way that these docks function and look. Now the first thing we have to do is choose the dock that we would like to customize, because we can change the way these look and function independently. So for the Choose Dock options, we have Dock, Dock 1, and then our Open Applications dock. Now the Open Applications dock is the one here at the bottom, and we're going to cover that one here in just one moment. But first, let's talk about our dock and Dock 1. Now those names can be a little confusing, and you may not know which one is which, so what I recommend is that we give these a name that represent what they are. So right now we have Dock 1 selected. If I'm not sure which one that is, I can come down here to the icon size or the spacing and kind of just move this around, and you'll see which one it is adjusting. So that's Dock 1. So I'm going to change this one to call it Entertainment. Then I'm going to switch to Dock just to confirm it. We're going to customize that right there just to confirm, and we're going to change this one to Utilities. All right, so now let's go ahead and customize our Utilities dock here. For one, we can lock the dock position and size, and we can lock the items inside of the dock. If I'm happy with the location, the items, and so forth, I can lock those there so I don't accidentally move it or delete it. We can also change the position or the type of the dock. So right now, it's floating, which means we can move it around freely. Another option we have is Fixed, and when I choose Fixed, we now have a fixed position that we can select. So we have top left, and you can see we have every option available. Top left vertical or top left horizontal, center, bottom, the right side as well. So you can lock this to a portion of your screen either horizontally or vertically. And lastly, we have a control strip that we can select, and that's going to add it over here on the left hand side. We can see it. When I click on it, it opens it up, and then I can close it again. And of course, we have a position for that as well, left side or the right side, as we can see here. Another option we have is the ability to show the name of the application. And we can also show just the name only if you don't want to show the icons. For me, I like to show just the application icons. The next option I want to cover is the icon size and the spacing. And as you guessed, we can control the size of our icons, how big we like them, and then the spacing in between our icons. So let's say I want them a little bit tighter together and about that size there. So now that I have that, you'll notice I have all this extra space over here. So to fix that, I can come down here to the corner and you'll see my cursor turns into two little arrows. Then I can click and I can drag and I can customize this however I want. So I'm going to bring it in just like that. Perfect. Now I have the perfect size dock that I was looking for. And we can do that with each individual dock that we create. So I could switch to my entertainment dock and do the same thing for this one. Now the next customization that we can do is the appearance. So I'm going to click on the appearance tab here. And from here, I'm going to choose my utilities dock. Then we have a dark style. We have a light style, a frosted glass, and a dark glass. So let's say that I like the dark style. And then from here, we can control the opacity and the hover opacity. So simply changing this, we can see what that looks like. And if I turn that down a little bit, but then we keep the hover opacity at the max, when I mouse over it, we can see it goes back to full, just like that. Okay, so you can control that for each of your docks however you like. And I'm going to leave mine about right there. The next way that we can customize our docks is by using tabs. So now we are going to go into the tabs section here. I am going to make sure I have my utilities selected. Then I am going to add a new tab. And when I click on that, we can see that we now have tab 1 and tab 2. If I need to change the color of the tab name, we can do that here. But I'm going to keep mine on white and close out of that. Then for the tab position, we can have it left, center, or right. And I'm going to leave mine on center. And then of course, we can rearrange these tabs if we need to. Now, the tabs are a great way to organize our apps into different categories while still using one dock. So let's say I have these as my utilities. I can then click on tab 2 and have a whole new set of icons here. So we'll go to add item here. We will add our app cleaner and we'll add the automator. So now tab 1, I have these utilities, and tab 2, I have these utilities. So it's a great way to keep organized without cluttering your screen. Last but not least, I want to talk about the different hotkeys that we can set up for our docks. So we're going to click on hotkeys here. And now is the perfect time to mention the dock that I have here at the bottom. And this one is actually called the Open Applications dock. So this is a dock that is automatically configured for you with the applications that you have open right now. So these are the apps that are currently open on my computer. If I open a new app, it will automatically show here. If I close out of one of these apps, it will automatically be removed. If you don't want to use this dock, you can hide it as well. So the hotkeys are just what they sound like. These are shortcuts that we can configure on our keyboard to open different applications inside of different docks without actually having to click on them. So for example, we have our utilities. Then we can choose which item or application we would like to assign a hotkey to. So let's say I wanted to go with music. Then we have our shortcut. This is going to be a keyboard shortcut that you can press to open the music app automatically. Now, just to be clear, if you try to enter a hotkey that is already being used by your system, SpeedDock will let you know and not allow you to use that hotkey. So I'm going to punch in a hotkey just like that there. For the item name, this is going to be the name that appears on the dock if we turned on names. By default, it would say music, but I could change that item name to whatever I want it to say. Then we have another shortcut to either show or hide this dock altogether. I'm going to set it just like that there. So now that I have these hotkeys set, let's go ahead and press my first hotkey and see if that opens up my music app the way that I set it. There we go. And as we can see, my music app is opening and it opened up inside of my Open Applications dock. Let's go ahead and close out of that. Now I'm going to hit my next hotkey and see if this dock hides itself. There we go. Just like that, my dock is gone. And when I hit my hotkey again, it appears. So that is something optional that we can do to quickly show or hide the dock and quickly open different applications. And that there is just how simple it is to use and set up SpeedDock to create as many docks as you want and organize them however you want.